Hello guys, welcome to May the Codes Be With You. Today we are doing the June LeetCoding Challenge dungeon game. So here is the question. I want you to try it out yourself first. So the basic of the question is we have a princess and we have a knight. The knight wants to reach the princess here, and we have to find the minimum health in which the minimum health the knight requires to reach to the princess, which is in the last cell, and we can only move right or downwards. Okay, so here is our problem. We have the array here. So what we have to do is we have a knight, it wants to reach the princess, and we have to find the minimum health in which it will reach the princess. Okay, so we'll create a minimum health array and we'll fill it. So we'll have 4 steps. First we'll create a minimum health array, then we'll calculate the minimum health for the last cell, which is the princess cell. Then we'll calculate minimum health for the last column, then for the last row, and then we'll calculate for the remaining cells. Then we'll return the minimum health of the first cell, which is our answer. So let's see how we'll do. Let's calculate the minimum health of the last cell. So it will be 1 if it is positive, otherwise we'll calculate it such that the minimum health remains positive even after adding the dungeon value. So we'll take 1 minus 5, which will be 6. So we'll fill in the 6 in the last cell. If it was a positive value like 2 or 3, then we'll just fill in 1. Now we'll calculate for the remaining cells of the last column. Okay, I'll write a formula so that you guys better understand. So let's calculate minimum health for the last column. So we'll use this formula: maximum of minimum health of the previous cell minus dungeon of current cell and 1. So let's calculate it for the cell above the princess cell. So this will be 6 minus 1, which will be equal to 5. And between 5 and 1, 5 is greater, so it will be plus 5. Similarly, we'll calculate it for this cell. So this will be 5 minus 3, which will be 2. So we have calculated the last column. Now we have to calculate the last row. So we'll calculate it for this cell. So the formula will be similar, but instead of the column, we'll have the row. And I and j will get interchanged. So for that 30 cell, it will be 6 minus 30, which will be minus 24. And maximum of minus 24 and 1 is 1. So we'll input 1 in our array. Now we'll calculate it for the 10th cell. So for this it will be 1 minus 10, which will be minus 9, and the maximum of minus 9 and 1 is 1. So we'll input 1. So this step is complete. Now we'll calculate minimum health for the remaining cells. So let's calculate minimum health for this cell. So we'll calculate name the cell to the right of it as B1 and to the bottom of it as B2. So according to our formula, we'll take minimum of B1 and B2 and subtract it from dungeon ij, and then we'll take maximum of this difference and 1. So minimum of 5 and 1 is 1 minus 10 minus 10, sorry, which will give us 11. So we will input 11. Now we'll similarly calculate the minimum health of that column by calculating this. Minimum is 2 and minus 3. So we'll get our answer as 5. So maximum of 5 and 1 is 5. So we'll write 5 here. Now for this cell, so minimum of 11 and 1 is 1. So 1 minus 5, it will be 6. Now for the first cell, which is the night cell, minimum is 5 minus dungeon ij, which is minus 2. This will yield us 7, and maximum of 7 and 1 is 7. So 7 is our final answer. So you guys can pause and see the steps carefully and try to code it. So here is the code. So what we have done is we have taken an integer row and integer column by this, like this. Then we have created a minimum health array. Then we have taken a condition: if the row, the last cell is greater than 0, that is, it is not 0 or it is not negative, then we have taken its value as 1. Otherwise we have taken its value as 1 minus the original value of that. Okay, so then we are solving for the last row and last column, as I have explained this formula previously. So minimum health I column minus 1 equal to maximum of minimum health I plus 1 column minus 1 minus dungeon I column minus 1 or 1. So we have taken the maximum of these two values, and similarly we have done for the columns. So next we have done it for the remaining cells, as I have explained this formula earlier. Minimum health I plus 1 j, minimum health I j plus 1 minus dungeon ij and 1. We have taken maximum of these two values, and then we have returned the first cell of our minimum health array. You can pause and look at the code carefully, and if you have any doubt regarding the code, you can drop a comment down below. So let's run our code. So we are getting the correct answer. Let's submit it. Pending. Accepted. So we are in the top 79.75% of the runtime. However, our space complexity is bad, so let's see. We are in 16.41%. So it is a trade-off between space complexity and time complexity. So this is it. This is the dungeon game question. Thank you guys, and may the codes be with you.